I'm John Cunningham, and welcome to another episode of Small Stocks, Big Money. For those of you new to the show, RedChip Companies is an investor relations, media, and research firm focused on emerging growth companies. Our unique platform combines global multimedia with traditional investor relations, reaching investors around the world. Now, today's show features interviews with executives of two public companies. First up is Ino Holdings, stock symbol INHD on the NASDAQ. Ino Holdings is transforming the construction industry with its innovative approach to sustainable, efficient, and cost-effective building methods. The company recently completed an IPO on the NASDAQ, and they're expected to accelerate growth in the quarters ahead. Next up is ASP Isotopes, stock symbol ASPI on the NASDAQ. ASP Isotopes is an emerging leader in isotope enrichment technology with wide application potential across a variety of industries. The company is addressing a multi-billion-dollar opportunity and has already secured multiple long-term supply agreements with customers in key markets around the world. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Now, before we get to our first interview, our quote of the week. It comes from the book Small Stocks, Big Money. The risk always lies within management, so we're constantly evaluating through our three-part process. We meet with 3 to 5 CEOs and CFOs of small companies in our offices every week. These quotes come from Byron Roth, CEO of Roth Capital, featured in Chapter 7 of Small Stocks, Big Money. This is a book of exclusive interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon today for just $18. Quick question. Are you interested in gaining a deeper understanding of the companies featured on Small Stocks, Big Money? If so, be sure to join us for our exclusive investor webinars. This is your opportunity to gain an in-depth look at our featured companies and where you can speak directly to management, giving you tremendous insights straight from the source. Visit redchip.com/events for a full calendar of upcoming webinars and register today to secure your spot at the next event. Now let's get started with our first interview today with Inno Holdings.
Hello, today we have Alice Gong, COO of Ino Holdings Incorporated, which has just IPO'd on the NASDAQ under the ticker INHD. Alice, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Craig.
You are quite welcome. Ino Holdings is an innovative building technology company on a mission to transform the construction industry. Let's start with an overview of your business operations.
We were founded in late 2019. Inno takes its name from innovation and is committed to the research and development of intelligent light gauge steel products, providing higher performance and greater efficiencies in all aspects of construction. Specializing in cold-formed steel members, we offer end-to-end services, transforming raw materials into precise steel framing and prefabricated homes, from residential to commercial, industrial, and infrastructure projects. Our finished products cater to diverse building needs, serving business and customer alike. And our mission statement is very clear. We are aiming to change the world for the better by leveraging technology to lower the cost and the environmental footprint of construction while creating more durable and resilient buildings. Inno recognized the inherent inefficiency and waste in traditional lumber-based construction techniques and sought to develop steel-based construction techniques to solve the problem.
Alice, just how big is the market opportunity you are addressing with your products and services?
Actually, the present market offers a substantial $40 billion opportunity within the United States for framing and prefabricated home manufacturing. Specifically, there is a $6 billion market segment for light gauge steel framing and a $9 billion segment dedicated to prefabricated home manufacturing. And also, we have $25 billion segment for traditional wood framing, highlight that of remarkable conversion potential within this industry.
Let us talk about your business model, Alice. How does Inno Holdings make money?
Well, we have 4 featured products that have achieved or will achieve substantial market traction. And for the intelligent light gauge steel framing solutions, our business model is B2B, business to business. And we operate as both a manufacturer and a wholesaler of our smart steel studs product. We have a strong focus on building relationships with our partners and customers. And we work closely with them to understand their needs and provide tailored solutions. Additionally, our wholesale model allows us to offer competitive pricing and flexible ordering options to our B2B partners. And meanwhile, we are in a transition to more larger scale projects from this year. And for other 3 products, our business model is either B2B or B2C. The first one is our function meets aesthetic manufactured home, Caster Cube, which has garnered significant interest, attesting to its innovative design and market appeal. And the second product is Mobile Factory, which has demonstrated its transformative potential, particularly in areas with limited accessibility and infrastructure. Lastly but not least, our multifamily home design boasts a high degree of proven replicability, making it a versatile choice for a wide array of geographic regions.
Alice, congratulations to you and the team on becoming a NASDAQ listed company. It's a big milestone. What is your direction for the next, say, 3 years?
We have some strategic planning for the next 3 to 5 years. And I just want to talk about 2 profitable products. The Caster Cube, which is a prefab home, and Village 101, which is an apartment product, will remain our primary focus in the next 3 to 5 years. As we continue to invest in research and development, we are confident that these products will drive our future growth. Furthermore, we are refining our client profile from individual homeowners to middle-sized builders, and this shift will allow us to better cater to the needs of our clients and position ourselves as a reliable and trusted partner in the construction industry.
Management, Alice, of course, is key to the success of any company, and especially a smaller cap company. Investors want to know, who are some of the key players on your team?
So our CEO, Mr. DK Liu, aka DK, is a serial entrepreneur with 10-year ground-up experience and solid knowledge of mechatronics, motivated by innovations and creations to disrupt the current construction industry. And our CFO, Mr. Tianwei Li, better known as Solomon. Solomon brings a wealth of experience and a diverse skill set to our leadership team, with the background deeply rooted in finance, strategic thinking, and real estate. And lastly, myself, the Chief Operating Officer. As a seasoned operations expert, my multifaceted background empowers me to enrich our company's operational excellence, strategic planning, and cultural vibrancy. And also, we have some other very good team members. Our team is small but close-knit, with every member cross-trained to handle different types of jobs. This has enabled us to operate efficiently and effectively.
Okay, Alice, I'm going to put you on the spot here a moment. Give us the essential value proposition. Why should an investor take an interest in Inno Holdings right now?
I believe it's a continued innovation. Inno will continually focus on the development of new and high-value products for our customers. So we have a pipeline growth with a focus on large and replicable projects. And also we have expanded sales and marketing to educate the customers about the benefit of our products. Launch of Caster Cube and Village 101 definitely is vital. The housing crisis is here. We are determined to play our part in offering solutions to the American people. Again, Inno is not just a typical domestic manufacturer. Inno is making a real impact on the construction industry as we encourage turnkey construction methods by implementing offsite prefabrication of sustainable light gauge steel panels, which in turn decrease labor and typical delays. At its core, our vision is simple yet profound: to provide quality, affordable, and sustainable shelter for all and our next generations. And this is why we feel confident that investors should have an interest in Ino Holdings, Inc., INHD.
Sounds great, Alice. And congratulations once again on that IPO. And thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much for having me, Craig. My pleasure.
Now, to get more information on Inno Holdings, visit inhdinfo.com. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like Inno Holdings. In addition to our newsletter, you can also order your copy of Small Stocks, Big Money. This is a book written by RedChip CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Order your copy at Amazon.com today for just $18. Now let's move on to our next interview today with ASP Isotopes.
Hello, today we have Paul Mann, CEO of ASP Isotopes, trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker ASPI. Paul, welcome back.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be back.
ASP Isotopes, an advanced materials company dedicated to developing technology and processes to produce isotopes in multiple industries. Paul, start with a brief overview of your operations.
Now, we have two technologies we're developing for the enrichment of isotopes, both of which originated from South Africa. One of our technologies is being used in 2 plants in South Africa today. Both of those plants will start producing free cash flow during the first half of this year, and that should really put us in a strong position to really grow the company from there. The second technology will probably more kind of start producing isotopes in the 2025-2026 timeframe on a much larger scale. And we started this company about 3 years ago. When we identified this technology in South Africa, we realized the need for more isotope enrichment in the world. And we recognized this could really change how many materials that are really needed in today's society and future societies, how they're produced, where they come from. So we bought the assets out of bankruptcy about 2 years ago. It's taken us 2 years to get to where we are now, and we're really looking forward to starting to generate our first free cash flow this first half year.
Speaking of your accomplishments, 2023, your first full year as a company on the NASDAQ, a big year. Could you elaborate on some of the key milestones that you achieved last year and how those accomplishments are aligning with the company's long-term vision?
Yeah, wow. So 2023 was a big year for us. So yeah, you're right. It was our full year on NASDAQ as a publicly traded company. So I guess, right at the start of the year, we started our first plant up. So we commissioned our first plant. So when you think about it, in less than 15 months from forming the company, we started our first plant up. And that's now ready to start producing commercial product, which will come through in the first half of this year. We made a lot of progress towards our second plant, and that will start up this year and start generating free cash flow as well. In terms of contracts, we actually signed a couple of really important contracts for the company last year, both with North American customers. And North America's got a huge shortage of isotope enrichment capabilities, so it's great for us to be supplying North American customers with enriched isotopes. The first was for a carbon-14 contract, and the second was for an undisclosed metal. In total, they're about $11.5 million of revenues, minimum, maybe more. So that was another major achievement. And I guess the final major achievement was us in forming a subsidiary called Quantum Leap Energy. And there's a huge need for new sources of enriched nuclear fuels. The world is really short of enriched nuclear fuels, and we'd like to help solve this problem. So, we signed 2 MOUs with US nuclear companies to supply them with enriched uranium in years to come. And actually, their total needs are over $30 billion over the next sort of 10, 15 years or so. And so to sign those MOUs and get that company formed and start the regulatory processes in various countries to build those plants, that, I guess, was the final major milestone for the year. But yeah, a really big year for us, 2023.
Excellent news. I want to get to that catchily named Quantum Leap Energy, which you just mentioned. You formed it last year. How does ASP Isotopes plan to impact the nuclear fuel market with Quantum Leap Energy, particularly, Paul, regarding small modular reactors and their benefits?
So that's a hell of a question. I could spend all day talking about that. But to give you the Reader's Digest version, small modular reactors are likely the future of nuclear energy. It basically takes production line economics into the nuclear reactor world. So it really brings down the cost of nuclear energy, whereby emerging market countries can afford to use it. And you're only going to change the outlook for the carbon emission of the world if you can make renewable energy cheap enough for emerging markets to use. You have to have that. And right now, that's not really possible with nuclear energy. SMRs allow that to happen. The problem from SMRs is they require a fuel called HALEU, high assay low enriched uranium. And right now, there is no Western producer of that fuel. So Quantum Leap Energy's goal is to create the nuclear fuels the world will need in the future, specifically HALEU and lithium-6, which will enable nuclear fusion. So on HALEU, which is our immediate need, or the world's immediate need, our goal is to start plants up in the next few years to enable SMR companies to start production before the end of the decade using HALEU that we produce. And our goal is to produce HALEU at a price point that allows it to compete with a green advantage rather than the green disadvantage over the cost of carbon-based energy. So that's our goal. We're working hard towards that. We're talking to multiple governments about where we're going to build our first plant, and we hope to have more news on that in the first half of this year.
Now, Paul, as you know, there are many challenges relating to the global supply chain for isotopes. How does ASP Isotopes plan to establish itself as a reliable supplier of critical isotopes given those challenges? And number two, how big is the market opportunity you would be addressing?
Well, 85% of stable isotopes are currently produced by Russia. And in terms of new isotopes needed to enable technologies of the future, such as quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and new forms of medicine, there really aren't any producers of those isotopes right now today. So we intend to fill that gap in either replacing current Russian supply or bringing new isotopes to the market. It's actually been a pretty easy discussion with potential customers because when you think about it, they're looking for long-term suppliers of critical materials in their supply chain, and they want a reliable supplier who can deliver those to them on time and on spec. And so, it's actually been a pretty easy conversation with those customers. Our first two plants will start up in South Africa during the first half of this year and start producing free cash flow. Our future plants are more likely going to be in Iceland, where we benefit from very cheap energy. And we're actually asking our customers to make large down payments to own parts of those plants to make sure they have access to those isotopes. So if we can produce isotopes at the lowest cost in the world, and we have long-term supply agreements with buyers of isotopes, I think we're putting ourselves in a great position for the longer term.
Management is key to the success of smaller cap companies, as you know, Paul. Who are some of the key players on the ASP Isotopes team?
Yeah, listen, we've got a great management team here who collectively have spent hundreds of years involved in isotope enrichment in South Africa. We have about 70 employees in South Africa. Over half of those have got advanced degrees. We've got over 10 PhDs working for us in areas of nuclear physics and chemical engineering and chemistry. And that allows us to really put together a team that can build plants on spec and on time. And on top of that, we've got a great independent board of directors who have got collectively tens to hundreds of years of experience on Wall Street, managing companies, public companies. And again, that oversight allows us to really make sure that we perform to the highest of our potential.
Paul, it truly has been a big year for ASP Isotopes. H.C. Wainwright came out in December with a $3.25 price target on your company. That was an initiation of coverage. Tell us, what is the essential value proposition, Paul, and why should investors take an interest in ASP Isotopes right now?
Isotopes is a really unique, challenging industry to get involved in. The barriers to entry here are huge. And so we have a position already in this industry, and we're going to grow that. And our goal is to become a dominant supplier of isotopes in the future, both for isotopes that are currently needed today as well as isotopes that are going to enable technologies in the future, such as green energy and quantum computing. And listen, we hope to deliver substantial investor returns while we do that as well. So that's, there's a lot of news flow coming up in the next 12 months too.
Paul, thanks for checking in with us. It's always a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you for your interest. I look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Now, to get more information on ASP Isotopes, visit aspiinfo.com. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter that you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like ASP Isotopes. In addition to our newsletter, you can also order your copy of Small Stocks, Big Money. This is a book written by RedChip CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Order your copy at Amazon.com today for just $18. Now let's recap the companies you met today. First, you met Inno Holdings, stock symbol INHD on the NASDAQ. The company's solutions reduce construction times by over 50%, while significantly cutting labor costs. As a trailblazer in the burgeoning $235 billion off-site construction market, Inno Holdings is seizing the opportunity presented by the increasing trend towards modular building techniques. The company isn't merely offering an alternative to construction methods, it's establishing a new industry standard. Inno Holdings is delivering unparalleled value to its commercial, residential, and industrial clients. Learn more at inhdinfo.com. Then you met ASP Isotopes, stock symbol ASPI on the NASDAQ. ASP Isotopes is transitioning to commercial operations at its first two facilities in South Africa. Cold commissioning of the first manufacturing plant was completed in early 2023, and the company has entered into a memorandum of understanding with a North American customer for the entire offtake from this facility. Long-term supply agreements have been signed with customers globally, and ASP Isotope intends to add additional take-or-pay style offtake agreements as it pursues its goal of becoming a leading supplier of non-nuclear enriched isotopes by 2028. Learn more by visiting aspiinfo.com. Again, if you have any questions about any of the companies featured on today's show, call us at 1-800-RedChip or email us at info@redchip.com. In closing, remember, while small caps can provide significant gains, you must be prepared for the downside. Small cap stocks are among the most volatile asset class. Some of the companies featured on this show are RedChip client companies, and we may own stock in these companies. So please always read our disclosures at redchip.com. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next week with some new exciting emerging growth companies.
Isotopes. They're not just tiny particles. They are the unsung heroes of modern society with a staggering range of applications. From transforming healthcare to powering space exploration, isotopes play a fundamental role in our daily lives. Despite their widespread use and critical importance, isotope production is dominated by only a few players globally, mainly Russia and China. But that's about to change. Enter ASP Isotopes, a company on a mission to transform the isotope industry utilizing revolutionary technology developed in South Africa. Their technology enriches isotopes of elements or molecules with low atomic masses, which traditional methods like centrifuges can't handle. ASP Isotopes, which IPO'd on NASDAQ in late 2022, is initially focusing on commercializing molybdenum-100, a potential game-changer for the diagnostic imaging market, and carbon-14, an essential radiolabel for drug discovery and pharmacokinetics. In Q1 2023, they completed cold commissioning of their first manufacturing plant and have already signed a memorandum of understanding with a North American customer for the entire offtake of the facility. ASP Isotopes intends to enter into additional take-or-pay style offtake agreements with customers, and by 2028, it expects to be a leading supplier of non-nuclear enriched isotopes, generating over $150 million in EBITDA per annum. In addition to its MOU with a North American customer, ASP Isotopes secured a 25-year supply agreement valued at up to $27 million per annum to supply highly enriched molybdenum-100 to the Beijing Research Institute of Chemical Engineering Metallurgy. ASP Isotopes technology is a low-capital cost, environmentally friendly method of isotope production. It's a game-changer, harvesting and enriching a natural mix of isotopes, producing zero waste without the need for nuclear reactor byproducts. With planned phase-outs of old research nuclear reactors and geopolitical uncertainties, there's a significant opportunity for ASP Isotopes to fill the gap in the global supply. Join ASP Isotopes and become part of the future of healthcare and scientific advancement. Don't just watch this revolution unfold, be a part of it. Learn more at aspiinfo.com or call 1-800-RedChip.